Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, if you're struggling to get your credit score up because you're trying to buy a car, or you're trying to move into a new apartment, or you're trying to get your credit score up high enough so you can get a lower interest rate on a loan, then I'm going to tell you about Ava. Okay, the Ava card. Now, many of you all hear about the Ava card, but most people, when they talk about the Ava card, they don't explain to you in terms of the real benefits of it. All right. Now, most people know that you can sign up for the Ava card and you get a trade line, right? But they don't understand that when you add that trade line with a new limit on it, it actually pushes down your debt to income ratio, right? And so by it pushing down your debt to income ratio, again, this can help increase your credit score so that you can get qualified for a car when you have bad credit. It can possibly help you get into an apartment when they pull your credit, or even get you a lower interest rate on a loan. Now, here's the thing about it: what most people would do is they have all of these type of memberships and subscription signups and stuff like that, right? But most people are paying this directly out of their bank account. What you would want to do, you would actually want to sign up for Ava. Okay. And when you sign up for Ava, use that account to pay for these here uh subscriptions. All right. So they got 24-hour fitness, AMC. Most of these, just about many of us in the US, we use these here actual subscriptions. Right. So the thing about it, again, we're getting money taken from our PayPal, and PayPal is not giving us credit or reporting to the credit bureaus, right? Or we getting it taken directly out of our check, but they're not being reported to the credit bureaus. Now, here's the thing about it. I always tell people, looking at this, you always want to do things that's going to be a benefit to you. All right. And so by these here subscriptions actually being reported as a trade line on your credit, it helps build up your credit. Now, I always tell people, like, if you're hovering around a 650 credit score, one of the things I always tell you, like with these here credit builder account, it's probably not going to give you as big of a boost. And what I mean by that, like, it probably will give you maybe 20 points, right? But if you're lower than a 650 with this type of trade line reporting, then you probably going to see like maybe 30, 40 point boost, right? So the higher the credit score, you won't see the bigger boost. But again, it's still good whether you have a high credit score or not, because you may have a thin credit file. So you may have only two trade lines on the credit file. And for most banks and credit unions, they want to see two or more. So when you're trying to go get a loan, let's just say you was trying to get a loan from Universal Credit, right? So with Universal Credit, they want to see at least two trade lines on the credit file with some history. Okay, so that's the reason why I tell people you need a thicker file. Now, doing secured credit cards, they do work. However, the thing about it with secured credit cards, they're going to take at least 30 days to report. Usually with Ava can take less than 3 weeks to report. So they report much faster. So that's the reason why I tell people is you may want to get this here as a trade line. Now, in terms of the cost of it, looking at it, they have an annual, which is like for annual, what, 6 times 12 is 72, or they have the monthly. All right. So it just depends on your budget. But at the same time, that $6, if it's able to help raise your credit score anywhere from 20 points up to 40 points, where you can get qualified for a new car, or get you qualified for an apartment, or get you qualified for like a lower interest rate loans, then I think that $6 is worth the investment. All right. So that's the reason I would tell you guys, I would seriously take into consideration about Ava to help build up the credit. Now, something else I wanted to share with you for you guys that are actually still struggling financially. One of the things you can do, you can go over to Find Help, right? And so with this website, Find Help, what you want to do is put in your zip code, findhelp.org, and what it does, it gives you all the resources in your city or state that is able to help you get caught up on like bills, food, and things of that nature. Now, again, I know this isn't directly related to Ava, but when you're trying to rebuild your credit and stuff, more likely you don't have that extra capital, right? So you need to figure out what resources I'm able to turn to help me. All right. Now, you also, if you work in a job, I always tell you just keep this in mind. If you work in a job, you need to go to your HR. Okay. And when you go to your HR, you want to request this here form, a W 4 form, so they can stop taking taxes out of your check. And that way you can bring home a bigger paycheck. And so by you having a bigger paycheck, now you're able to add trade lines like Ava onto your credit file. But like I said, if you already have these here subscriptions and stuff like this, but they're coming out from your checking account or from your PayPal account, I would actually switch over to the Ava so I can actually get it as a trade line. Ava says that it reports to all three credit bureaus, right? But here's the thing about it, with most people, out of transparency, most people have just seen them report to their TransUnion and their Experian. All right. I don't see too many people talking about the Equifax, but TransUnion and Experian, you definitely have seen an increase in your credit score from Ava. All right. So that's what I would actually take a look at. Now, another thing, like I said, in reference to this price, most people get caught up on this price, but I wouldn't get caught up on it. This is only $6, right? And again, with this $6 payment, if it's going to give me 20 to 40 point increase on my credit score, I'll pay the $6. All right. Most people get caught up on this. I would actually just pay the $6. All right. Going back over here, like I said, the way that it works, we talked about in this here trade line up to $2,500. Most people, when they see this credit builder card, most people thinking that it's a physical card. It's not a physical card. Okay. This is not a physical card, so that you can have some clarification, but it is worth the investment. All right. If you have subscriptions you're already paying, invest into this here because this is definitely worth it. All right. Now, if you have any other ways, oh, there is another way you can actually increase your credit score. Again, like I said, you have the secured credit cards, but also having somebody add you on as an authorized user. All right. If they got a good established credit with 10% utilization, that'll also help boost up your credit score along with this here Ava credit card. So I hope that this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video.